Hi everyone, Greeno here and welcome to another video here on Greeno Eats. Now as you can see, we have a little guest star with us today. We have Mrs Greeno in the house. Hello Mrs Greeno.
Hello Mr Greeno.
Now we are down in Bournemouth today. It's a beautiful sunny day. Our daughter is at a birthday party down on the pier, so we have snuck off and we're going to get ourselves something to eat. Now we've come into the market in the middle of Bournemouth. You'll remember a couple of 3 weeks ago I came down here and filmed a video with Smoky Moe's, the jacket potato, Bournemouth's answer to Spudman. I'll link that video at the end of this one if you haven't seen that one already. But there's a whole food market around here today and we have spotted something that appeals to this little Hungarian to my side. There is a Hungarian Goulash hut here. So we're going to get some Hungarian food and sit in the sunshine and remind Mrs Greeno of home. How does that sound?
My second home.
What, this is your second home or there is your second home?
There's my second home.
There's your second home, all right. Dorset is now home. Fair enough. Right, let's go and get some Hungarian grub in us. Right then folks, so we have ordered our lunch from the Hungarian Goulash hut. We've got 3 items here, as picked by Mrs Greeno, with her Hungarian knowledge. We have this Langos, which is a very traditional Hungarian, kind of a street food. It's like a fried bread dough, which is then covered with cheese and sour cream. And garlic. Oh yeah, garlic of course. We have this, which is called chicken Hortobagyi, something like that. My Hungarian pronunciation is not good. So this is like a stuffed pancake with chicken inside it and a sauce on there. What's the sauce?
Paprika.
Like a paprika sauce, creamy paprika sauce, and with a bit of paprika on the top there and a bit of sour cream. Pretty much everything gets the sour cream treatment in Hungary. And we have here the goulash. So this is more of a stewy goulash. When you're in Hungary, goulash is more of a soup, like a thinner soup. But this is like a beef stew here with these little noodles. What are these called, Mrs Greeno? Can't remember. Nokedli. Okay, so they're kind of little floury noodles, almost a pasta-y kind of thing. They get served there, and there's a little bit of kind of a paprika saucy dressing kind of thing on the top there. So what are we going to start with, Mrs Greeno?
Hortobagyi.
We're going to start with the Hortobagyi. Okay. So this, like I say, is the stuffed chicken pancakes with a paprika sauce. So let's get that tried first. So let's cut this open and take a look inside and see what we've got. So it's like a pulled chicken filling in a crepe, kind of like a French style crepe by the looks of it. There we go, take a look at that. So, it smells good, it smells Hungarian. That kind of familiar, kind of creamy paprika taste you get with a lot of Hungarian food. Oh, that's nice. So the pancakes are nice and soft. That creamy paprika sauce. It's a very lightly paprika flavoured. I think it must be chicken stock in there as well or something like that. It's got a chickeny flavour. And a little bit of paprika dusted on the top there. So again, if you can get a close-up on the filling there, you can see the chicken inside the little bits of pancake. The sauce kind of reminds me a little bit of another Hungarian dish that Mrs Greeno makes sometimes, paprikash. But like a thicker version of that. That's really tasty. Let's see what Mrs Greeno thinks about it. Right, Mrs Greeno is about to tuck in. You probably haven't had one of these for a little while, have you, dear?
For many years. I
Many
didn't have
years, right, okay, so let's see what she thinks about this chicken hortobagyi.
this. Tastes like home.
Tastes like
So
home.
Really
So
good.
the guys operating this this Hungarian goulash hut are Hungarian. Mrs Greeno was chatting to them in Hungarian. I had no idea what they were talking about. But
Really good.
apparently there is quite
Really
a big Hungarian diaspora down here in Bournemouth. Yeah, a little community of Hungarians. I know there is a Hungarian restaurant, which I think I'll have to go and review at some point, out on Holdenhurst Road in Bournemouth. But this is the first time I've seen Hungarian kind of street food around. And Mrs Greeno is definitely enjoying the chicken hortobagyi because she's moved on to another one. Right, what am I going to try next? Let's have a little look. Okay, I'm going to move on to this Langos now. Like I say, this is a dough that is just rolled out flat, kind of like a pizza dough would be, and then deep fried. And then you top it with like garlic, cheese, and sour cream. Now, I was going to cut a piece of this off, and Mrs Greeno told me that is a sin. You just have to pick it up and eat it. You're going to fold it in half and eat it like a sandwich, so that's what we're going to do. You can definitely smell the garlic. It's got a really kind of garlic bread kind of smell to it. So what I'm going to do, on Mrs Greeno's advice, I'm going to fold it in half like that and just go for it. Mm. Mm. Do you know what, that is pretty good. I don't really like sour cream, so I was a bit nervous about trying this. But it doesn't overly taste of the sour cream, because you've got the cheese, because you've got the garlic, and because it's like a fried pizza dough. It's just part of the flavour. Now, this is definitely not a health food. You can probably see the grease kind of shining in the sunlight there. But it is tasty. The middle piece of it is crispier. The outside is a little thicker and doughier. But it has a really nice flavour. It's not overly garlicky. That is not bad at all. Right, Mrs Greeno's turn on the Langos now. Let's see what she has to say about it. There's a little nod of approval going on. Good authentic taste to it.
Absolutely. It's just the one that we have in Hungary. Really nice.
Really nice.
Love it.
So this is the sort of thing you could buy at the roadside almost. Little shacks everywhere.
Little Langos shacks.
Specifically just making Langos. You'll get little businesses set up on the side of busy roads or whatever, or in town centres, little stalls like you've got here. Just making these. They're really popular. It's a very, very traditional Hungarian snack. It's filling, it's inexpensive, and tasty. Exactly what you need.
Yeah. Good.
Good.
Now we can buy another one.
Now we can buy another one, she says. Good Lord. Okay, now we are on to the final item here. We have the beef goulash. Now, this isn't a traditional Hungarian goulash in my mind. Like I say, that's a soupy thing. It's a thin soup with beef and potato and all sorts of stuff in there. This, I've had something very similar to this before in Hungary, which was called pörkölt, which is more like a sort of thick, rich beef stew. And it was served with these little noodles, these nokedli. So I think that's probably closer to what this is, the beef pörkölt, maha pörkölt. Anyway, let's give it a try. It looks delicious. Okay, so take a look at this. There's loads of lovely, big, juicy chunks of beef in this. Look at that. Lots of it in there. It's got the paprika on the top, which is kind of melted into the saucy element here. We've got the little nukedli underneath. Let's give this all a try together. Oh yeah. Wow, that's good. So the paprika here is kind of a chili paprika. So it does have a bit of heat to it. A lot of Hungarian, or even sort of all Central European food, there's not a lot of spice to it, but you will get a bit of chili paprika sometimes in things. This has that, and it really benefits from it. It's a stew, so it's kind of in a gravy almost, but a paprika flavoured gravy. The beef is so soft, you could cut this with a fork, no problem at all. It's obviously been cooked very long and slow. That is just exceptional. Is a very warm, almost summer's day the best time to be eating this? Possibly not. You might want it as more of a wintry dish, but tell you what, bloody tastes good. Yum. Okay, Mrs Greeno's turn. Now, she's not the biggest fan of beef in the world, so I wonder if this is going to be enough to convince her to try more beef. You must have had the purkult when you were in Hungary, dear.
But this is the only dish I really like as a beef dish. I
Right.
love beef stew.
Beef stew. So this is your favourite beef dish out there?
Absolutely, I love it. I don't like the steak. I love the beef stew.
And these little noodles, do you think these are handmade ones or bought in?
No, this is handmade.
Yeah?
This is proper handmade.
So these are real labour of love. These are not quick to make.
No, absolutely not.
You have to make the dough and you roll it out into thin little bits, and then you're basically using the back of a spoon, aren't you, to like chop tiny little. They're almost like little.
Water.
Yeah, so they're almost like little tiny gnocchi kind of things.
Yeah.
Very, very labour intensive. It takes a lot of time to make them, but they are really good. They're really soft.
Delicious. Worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are happy we have found this little Hungarian goulash hut now.
Yeah, absolutely. You might not be happy. I will ask every weekend to come and have some Hungarian food. Delicious.
Okay, one thing left to try. We have this drink. Now, this is a sour cherry. I'm guessing it's a fizzy drink, but we'll find out. Now, the cherry, particularly the sour cherry, is very, very popular in Hungary. I think it must just be lightly carbonated because there wasn't much of a fizz there when I opened it. This is the Marca brand, not one I'm familiar with. Ooh, that's refreshing. Oh, I love cherry flavoured things, but sometimes they're a bit sweet. This is not sweet. This is kind of almost sour, but just with a hint of sweetness after. Very lightly carbonated. Oh, that's good. I could drink a lot of that. Apparently, this is only the second week that this Hungarian goulash hut has been here. It's already proving popular. There's a queue of people waiting to get all the yummy treats. Right then, folks, so what do I make of that Hungarian goulash hut? Do you know what? That was absolutely delicious. Mrs Greeno is going to have to start cooking some more Hungarian food at home, I think. That was great. The goulash, not a traditional Hungarian goulash, like I've said before. That's a sort of soup, with a thin soup with potatoes and stuff in. This was more like a purkult, a thick, rich beef stew, but it was great. The beef was melt in your mouth, the flavours were fabulous, and those little nukedli, delicious. The chicken hortobagyi, which is the pancake dish, very, very nice. The sauce on there, great. The chicken's so soft, and yeah, the pancakes, obviously homemade, very, very nice too. The langos, as Mrs Greeno said, very, very traditional Hungarian and cooked very, very well. I even think it's a proper Hungarian Trappist cheese they're using on top. So they're really, really going all out, making it authentic and tasty. This has been a real find. I very much doubt this is going to be the last time we're going to be here, because Mrs Greeno's got a taste of home now. So I think we're going to be back here relatively frequently. But fair play to them. It was absolutely great. Okay, so if you've enjoyed today's little video down in Bournemouth Market, it's here every Sunday. Picked a good day for it, mind. It's lovely and sunny down here today. But yeah, like I say, if you've enjoyed it, click a thumbs up on there for me. It does help with the channel. And if you're new around here and you like what you've seen, why not consider clicking the subscribe button, ding your little bell for notifications, and you won't miss anything that comes up on the channel. Right, we've got to go for a little walk down to the pier now to pick up little 'un. We'll catch you on the next one. How do I say bye-bye in Hungarian, dear?
Sziasztok!
Sziasztok! Bye for now.